A very good afternoon, all. We will be starting the first day of this SDP very shortly. In the meantime, I request all the faculty members and the management to please post the.
Sir, actually your voice is too low.
Hello. Yeah, Mark, can you please confirm if the voice is clear?
Now it's fine.
Okay. So, good afternoon, all. My name is Raj, and we will be starting shortly with this faculty development program, day one. And in the meantime, I request all the faculty members who have joined this session to please post the link as a reminder in your college group, so faculties who are yet to join can be a part of the session. Amar, in the meantime, if you can please post the joining link in the chat window as well.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Amar, a quick check on the guests that we have invited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All guests are in.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Nitya ma'am, with your permission, can we start?
Yes, Siraj, we can proceed.
Yes, please. So a very warm welcome and a very good afternoon to all the faculty members and prominent guests from the fraternity of the managements and the college authorities. I welcome you all on boarded for the faculty development program, which is basically based on the AI application on banking and healthcare industry. So with us, we have our core team member from the backend who's taking care of the entire alignment activities. We have Amar and Pravalika. Apart from this, we have our prominent manager from the EDL segment, Miss Nitya, who's in charge and taking care of the entire ongoing FDPs and SDPs activity and the collaborative activities when it comes to the MOU. So I would request Nitya ma'am to please take on the stage and have the give us the deep dive into what exactly we are about to explore in terms of the FDP that we have planned for today. Over to you, Nitya ma'am.
Thank you, Siraj. So, a very good afternoon to one and all those who are present here. So, on behalf of ExcelR, I, Nitya, would like to give a little insight about ExcelR. And of course, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to all the dignitaries from various colleges who have given their precious time and brought in other faculties also for this event on which is starting today from 12th December and it will be ending by 18th of December. So this is a 5 days faculty development program on AI applications, banking, and healthcare industry. So let me proceed to start with introduction about ExcelR. So ExcelR is a strategic partner of colleges for classroom to corporate success, wherein coined and founded in the year 2013 by IIM ISB alumni. It has its headquarters in USA, Houston, and so far we have trained 5 lakh plus students and professionals. We have not only catered to the requirements of students, but also to the corporates in understanding the real need in terms of the real case studies, which we will have to bring it to the academia and then make the students understand and help them in projects and internship, giving them a complete connect from grooming them, coaching them on these aspects till they get the placement assistance. So on that note, we have our centers at Houston, Bangalore, 2 locations, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune. And we have strongly partnered with most of the premium associations listed below, like IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee, APSHE, TASK, Skill ATSSDC, KMDC, NASCOM Future Skills Prime. And we have been awarded twice by Deloitte and appreciated by APSSDC, IIT Roorkee, and many others. So during this journey of us, we have close to 50,000 engineering faculties we have trained and conducted 500 plus webinars, 30 plus technical tracks that is on the emerging technologies, trained 5 lakh plus students, and strong connect with the placement partners in assisting our students who have trained. Through this, we have a strong collaboration with 1,500 plus universities, colleges as our academy partners. These are few recent engagements which has happened on faculty development program on full stack development at IIT Bombay. These are few of our examples and wherein we have trained the students from IIT Roorkee on time series analysis and predictive analytics. And this is a student initiative where the students have collaborated, had taken the initiative in connecting with us in asking for Power BI and machine learning training program at BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. We, as I told you earlier, with a strong collaboration with IIT Madras, we conduct joint certification courses. And this is one of our CSR activity, which we had started in the month of Jan and closed in April, May, with 240 hours of CRT training with placement assistance on the 5 subject module, that is on coding skills, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, soft skills, and of course, giving them tips and techniques for to ace the job interview through their resume, LinkedIn profile building. This was curated in accordance with the college, universities, and of course with the corporates in understanding the gaps and what is the need for this program for where the students will be able to successfully crack their job interviews. On seeing this, we had 50,000 registrants for this program, Skill Up program, and we had a lot of assessments and assignments given to them during this journey. Close to 5,200 plus students were eligible for this prestigious certificate from iHub Divya Sampar, a joint body of IIT Roorkee and Government of India Department Science and Technology. Similarly, we had many such collaborations and initiatives taken across pan-India. And this is another initiative through APSHE, where we had collaborated with APSHE in conducting the internship and projects program in association with APSHE, wherein this model again was under the guidance of APSHE in conducting a short-term internship program, which is of 180 hours of virtual self-paced learning, experiential learning with real-life case studies on 30 plus technology tracks with lifetime access with LMS given and 240 plus hours of campus recruitment training given to them to give them a complete end-to-end training plus placement assistance. So far, 18,000 plus students attended this short-term internship, which was a mix of degree and engineering, 30 plus colleges from degree and 175 plus engineering colleges participated in it. And there were 22 technology track students had opted for a duration of 16 to 20 weeks. So the program structure was something like this: 180 hours of self-paced learning on the application-oriented learning with 240 hours of campus recruitment training with multiple quizzes and assignments and multiple certificates given to them post their internship program. So without much further ado, I would like to introduce our dignitaries for today. So I would like to take the platform to introduce our dignitary, Dr. Vivek Krishna Rao Sunnapwar, Principal of KG Somaya Institute of Technology, Sion, Mumbai, who has 34 years of academic research, administrative excellence, having a PhD in world-class manufacturing, and he has successfully guided 11 PhD scholars and served in leadership roles at renowned universities. So a hearty welcome to you, sir. So I would like request you to share a few words, sir.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very much you are audible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, you would
Yes, sir.
like me to...
Yes, sir. I would request you to share a few words, sir.
Yes. So, it's indeed a great privilege and honor to be part of this inaugural ceremony for the faculty development program on AI applications, particularly focusing on healthcare and banking sector. So I think the artificial intelligence has really, developed leaps and bounds over many years now. And I still remember when I think it was in very initial stages. I still remember that there was a health diagnostic system in or the expert system for diagnosis, and it was something mycene and all that. And those days in 90s, I think some work was going on as far as the uh, artificial intelligence in terms of development of expert systems. But now I think we have grown much in this particular area, and there are multiple challenges as well. So the number of challenges before the two particular sectors, as you have mentioned, that is health sector and the banking sector. I think in both the cases, data is very crucial, and the main challenge is to have the security. Healthcare, it is not only the challenge is treating patients and administering them proper drugs or performing the surgeries and all. Now, I think we have come to a stage wherein, we have robotic surgeries also very common. So, in addition to this, I think the very sensitive data as far as the patients are concerned. So I think that is a challenge, and I think AI is definitely going to address these issues pertaining to health, which is a very sensitive and very important sector. Similarly, the banking, I think it is very close to our heart. Everyone, the society, right from a small vendor or a small user to a multi-billionaire or so on, the industrialist, maybe a very affluent society. Everyone uses the banking. So I think there also the data is very important, and with the the cases of cyber frauds happening, I think AI is going to offer definitely some reprieve and solution to the challenges in this sector, and to have the efficient banking. Maybe it is a normal banking, or it is loan or anything, any service which a user is expecting. I think the application of AI is going to uh, provide very efficient solutions to this problem. So I'm very delighted, and I congratulate the organizers, and particularly uh, our own artificial intelligence and data science department headed by Dr. Milind Nemade and his team. I think they took this initiative in joining hands with ExcelR to have this FDP. And there are again other co-hosts also. I greet them, I congratulate all of them. And I appreciate ExcelR for taking this initiative in bringing together the experts and the faculty who are responsible for passing on the knowledge to the next generation and budding engineers. So it's a great event, and I wish this FDP a grand success, and I'm sure the deliberations of this 5 days faculty development program will go a long way for all the participants, and that they will be immensely benefited. So once again, my greetings, my congratulations, and thank you one and all. Wishing you all the best. Good day.
Thank you, Vivek, sir. As
Thank you.
you said, AI is globally across a variety of different industries and sectors. And the hunger for this is not only for a small child, but for everybody on earth to get to know more about AI role, which is really critical. And of course, for all your insights and inputs and your blessings, we would be delighted to give you, and that is give the faculties a journey which is filled with lot more interesting aspects in this FDP, sir. So on that note, let's move on to the next dignitary. So we have Dr. S.F. Patil, Principal of KLE Technological University, who has a PhD in composite materials from VTU Belagavi, an accomplished researcher. He has published extensively national and international journals. He has successfully guided numerous PhD and MTech students. He is renowned for his expertise in composite materials. He actively fosters innovation and academic excellence. So a hearty welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues, faculty members, and participants. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this faculty development program on AI applications in banking and healthcare industry, organized collaboratively by KLE Technological University, Dr. M.S. Eshgiri Campus, Belagavi, Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, Telangana, KJ Somaya Institute of Technology, Maharashtra, Adiman College of Engineering, Tamil Nadu, and ExcelR. This program reflects our shared commitment to fostering excellence in academia and bridging the gap between technology and industry. Now, to brief about our KLE Technological University, our KLE Technological University stands as a beacon of academic excellence and innovation, with a rich legacy of empowering students and faculty through cutting-edge education. Our institute has consistently been in the forefront of research, learning, and industry engagement. We take immense pride in nurturing future leaders across disciplines, guided by our esteemed faculty and a robust infrastructure that supports innovation. Our alumni have made remarkable contributions across industries globally, embodying our values and commitment to societal progress. And our university is mainly focusing on project-based learning and problem-based learning. And again, we are focusing on scenario-based learning. Our collaboration with ExcelR, a leading provider of professional training and certification, is a testament to our mutual vision of equipping individuals with industry-relevant skills. ExcelR is renowned for its practical, hands-on approach in domains such as digital marketing, data science, and artificial intelligence, machine learning. Their everyday learning program, that is EDL initiative, exemplifies their dedication in bringing a gap between academia and industry by creating opportunities for continuous learning and development. This faculty development program is a fantastic opportunity for the faculty, TPOs, and HODs to gain cutting-edge knowledge in AI applications. Such initiatives empower educators, enabling them to upskill and transfer this expertise to their students and making them industry-ready professionals. Programs like this foster a culture of lifelong learning while enhancing the academic ecosystem. By leveraging ExcelR's expertise under non-commercial MOU collaboration, we ensure access to high-quality training for all the participants, nurturing a synergy between knowledge and application. Collaborating with leading institutions like ExcelR has consistently elevated the standards of learning and exposure. Together, we are building a stronger academic industry bridge, paving the way for workforce ready to tackle real-world challenges with confidence and innovation. The topic of today's program, AI application in banking and healthcare industry, is very significant. In banking, AI is driving transformation through fraud detection, personalized customer experiences, and automated processes. In healthcare, artificial intelligence is revolutionizing diagnostics, enhancing patient care, and streamlining operational efficiencies. As educators, we have a unique role in ensuring our students are well trained with these industry relevant skills, preparing them for future where technology and human imagination work hand in hand. I encourage each one of you to actively participate in this program, embrace the learning, and integrate these insights into your teaching and learning endeavors. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to ExcelR for partnering with us in this endeavor. Lastly, I thank all the participants for their enthusiasm and commitment to continuous learning. Together, let us make this program a resounding success and stepping stone toward greater achievements. Thank you. I wish you a productive and enriching experience ahead. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Patil sir, for bringing in the highlights and the importance of AI at the healthcare and banking sector. So next, let me move on to the next dignitary. From Adiyaman College of Engineering, we have Dr. R. Radhakrishnan, Principal. He is an accomplished academic leader with over a decade of experience and has a tenure of principal at Vidya Mandir Institute of Technology from 2014 to 24. And he has also led Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College and United Institute of Technology. So over to you, sir.
Yeah, very good evening to all. My wishes, am I audible?
Yes, sir, absolutely, you're audible.
Yeah, my best wishes to my producers like Vivek Krishna Rao, Principal, and the Dr. Yasser Patil, and the moderator Nitya, and the persons from the ExcelR, and the participants, and finally the research persons. Good evening, all. It gives me an immense pleasure and privilege to welcome you all for this, the 1 week FDP on artificial intelligence applications on the banking sector as well as the healthcare sector. I'm representing the Adiyaman College of Engineering. A small change in my profile, it gives a kind of light information only. So almost 34 years of experience in the teaching as well as the learning, and almost 18 scholars I have completed, 72 Scopus Index papers, and of course, one patent and other things are there. Almost this is my 15th year. I'm working as a principal. The Vidya Mandir Institute of Technology is my brainchild. I'm the partner of that particular college. I'm the owner of the particular college, of course. So thanks for the opportunity. And at the outset, I just wanted to congratulate the ExcelR for organizing this kind of a workshop. I mean, this kind of a faculty development program, and especially the focusing on the AI applications on the healthcare and also the banking sector. So almost the S.F. Patil and also the Vivek Krishna Rao, they have given a prelude about what is that AI, where this AI can be applicable, and all those things. It's very evident that the AI has become a transformative force in every sector, not only in the banking sector as well as the healthcare. In all the sectors, it is kind of a force, that transformative force. It is guiding us, rather it helps us to do more things and very easily also. And especially in the banking sector nowadays, the customer experience are very specific, and also the fraud detection is also very, very important. So in these particular areas, the AI setting, and then it is helping the bankers to identify all those things. And the Patil sir has rightly pointed out that in the healthcare sector, the robots are making an operations, and so many things are coming up. So all the databases are managed by the AI. So it is very, very useful for them. And there are tremendous opportunities are available in the various field. And I'm really thankful to the organizers for making this event. I mean, they're making this a remarkable opportunity to attend this session. So I'm representing the Adiman College of Engineering. The college is, it is almost 34 years completed, 34 years of academic excellence. And we have all accreditations like NBA, NAC accreditations, and all the autonomous institutions. Almost 4,700 plus students are, with us, and almost 400 plus faculty teaching as well as the non-teaching faculties are available. And as far as the AI is concerned, we are having a centers of excellence facility in our campus, and the students were given an opportunity to interact with all the industry people. And especially, we are located in the Hosur. It's very close to the Bengaluru. You know very well this India is, I mean, the software industries, more software industries are available in Bengaluru. So we are fortunate to tie up with such an industries. And since it is an autonomous college, the students were given an opportunity to interact with many industries. And in the Center of Excellence facilities, we give the importance to the learning the AI tools. Like, the students were given an opportunity to learn the AI tools, and the AI tools were be implemented in their projects also. So, of course, we are happy to join with the ExcelR for this kind of a programs. And I'm expecting a good relationship in future also. And of course, my congratulations to the organizing teams, the research persons, and of course, the participants for making this event a meaningful and more successful. Wish you all the best for your future endeavor. Thanks for the opportunity. Opportunity is blessed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for an inspiring talk. So let me move on to the next dignitary, Dr. C.V. Narasimhulu, Principal from Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology. He is a distinguished academician researcher with a remarkable career dedicated to advancing engineering education. He is having an unwavering commitment to academic excellence, and his holistic approach of education have fostered a thriving environment for students and faculty alike. So I a hearty welcome to you, sir. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon, sir.
It is my pleasure to inaugurate this faculty development program on AI applications for banking and health industry, organized by the Department of IT in association with our MOU partner ExcelR Solutions. This FDP aims to upskill our faculty and equip them with essential AI tools and techniques for real-world applications. Key takeaways include mastering AI tools, gaining insights into industry trends, and enhancing your teaching and training skills. I congratulate the program coordinators, Professor K. Ramakrishna, Dr. G. Sagar, Dr. A. Sirisha, and V. Swati Soumya, and our head of the department, Professor M. Venugopalacharya, for their efforts in organizing this program a grand success. I wish you all the participants a fruitful learning experience. So I also thank other principals for joining this program. Okay, thank you, Varana.
Thank you very much, sir. So let me move on to the next dignitary from Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology. So I welcome Dr. Ramakrishna Kolikipogu, Professor, Department of Information Technology, who has 20 plus years of experience in professional teaching, and he has guided more than 100 UG and PG projects. So he's serving as a computer science, he's serving as a Computer Society of India, Hyderabad, chapter management committee member and editorial member, reviewer to various reputed conferences. So I welcome Dr. Ramakrishna Kolikipogu.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Again, I welcome all the participants who are taking their quality time to learn in AI, particularly in the domain of banking and then healthcare industry. So on this occasion, being a coordinator, I would like to thank ExcelR, CEO Ram Garu, and then Amit, the Nitya and the team for their tireless efforts to make this event come to this stage. So I also thank the principals, esteemed Principal Professor C. Narasimhulu Garu for his continuous support and encouragement to conduct these kind of activities. So the Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology is one of the premier institutions in Telugu state, and it's having a MOU ExcelR Solutions, and we have a very good participation in almost all everyday learning programs of the ExcelR. So that gave the path for our students and faculty members to upskill and then tone up their knowledge. So on this occasion, I would like to once again thank our head of the department, Professor Venugopalachari, and our other coordinators, Dr. Sagar, Dr. G. Sagar, Associate Professor, and Dr. A. Sirisha, Assistant Professor, and Dr. B. Swati Soumya, Assistant Professor of the Department of IT from Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, for their continuous effort to bring the active participants to this program and putting the lot of effort to make this program a grand success. I once again wish all the participants to actively join this program and then learn and tone up your knowledge. Once again, I welcome you all and thanks for giving the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So let me introduce our subject matter expert for today's session. who will be who is Mr. Sashank Majeti, and he is an expert data science and AI trainer specializing in data analytics and artificial intelligence. He is proficient in Python, R, Excel, Tableau, Power BI, MySQL, and SQL Server. He is excelling in data mining, cleaning, preparation, and blending. So his expertise includes advanced mathematics, generating actionable insights, and using machine learning and deep learning frameworks. So, hearty welcome to you, Susank.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, please share a few words, and probably then we would request the Mr. Ramar to take the piece through the LMS training.
Sure. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity on behalf of ExcelR. And just want to share my very few words I'll speak. I'll not waste much of time here. So I'm very happy to be a part of this, and I hope I can give a lot of insights so that many people will be enlightened in so many aspects as well. So looking forward for interacting, because I love to interact with people so that I can learn and I can teach also. So looking forward for a very good interactive session with the learners. So since the learners are mostly faculty, so I'm very happy to interact with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasank. So I would request Amar from the training and delivery team to take you through the LMS platform. Amar, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So, dear faculty members, once again, very good afternoon and warm welcome to the 10 hours of faculty development program on AI. So, myself, Amar, and I'm just here to give you the quick walkthrough of LMS. So, let me share my screen. Nitya, I hope my voice is clear.
Yes, Amar, you are clear.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, dear faculty members, LMS is known as Learning Management System, and by using that, we are going to provide you the recordings of the session, material, assignment, and even you can mark your attendance for this program using the LMS itself. To get the LMS access, everybody need to be registered. After the registration only, within next 24 hours of time span, you will get the LMS access. Those who are registered till today morning, till 11 o'clock, they already receive an email from our side. So Chandana, definitely few people missed on the registration. So I'm requesting you to please share the registration link in the Zoom and YouTube once again. So those who missed, they will register once again. Yes. So those who are registered, to them we sent out the mail communication through the LMS. So dear participants, please check your email. While checking in the inbox, there are chances to drop that email in the spam folder as well. So please check and spam folder too. So first email we need to open, and that is welcome to ExcelR and verify your account. So by using this mail, we need to set our password. So here we mentioned the verification link. Click on this link and set your password. So if I click on this link, I will revert on the next page, and here I need to set my password. So coming to the password, this will be the completely new password. It's not like that you need to set the password whichever is there for any another account. It's not like that. Completely new password you need to set here, and same password you need to type it here. Okay. So this is the very first steps towards to accessing the LMS. Once we are done with this step, we need to open the second email. The second email is a course invitation mail. Welcome to FDP on AI applications in banking and healthcare industry. Right? So everybody, those who register for this particular program, they receive an mail, and if you're going to register now as well, you will also receive a mail. No need to worry about that. Okay. So in that mail, you can see here, we mentioned the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. So let's go step by step. In step 1, we are able to see one LMS URL, onlinelearning.excelr.com. So this is our LMS URL. We need to click on that. If I click on that, I will land here on this page, and we need to do a sign in. So as you're already registered member, not required to do a registration again and again. So simply you can click on sign in. After clicking on sign in, you will land here on this page. This is the login page. And here we need to provide our registered mail ID and the password, the credentials. The registered email ID only, because mobile number will not work as you receive an mail. The same mail you need to use here, and the password which was already set in the first email, we need to use that password. Okay, so after entering credentials, you can click on login, and let me reshare my screen and I will show you how we will access the LMS live and what kind of the functionalities we are providing to you. So just addition to that, the LMS access will be with you for that particular classroom for next 365 days. Okay. So once you provide your credentials successfully, you will land here on this wonderful dashboard. And here you can see the couple of options: dashboard, classroom, assessment, store, calendar, news, and blog. Right. So whatever the important things for you, I will just explain you that. So today, anyway, you receive a links to join the session via Zoom, or YouTube. You receive a message from your colleagues or from the WhatsApp group. Yeah, every day you will be receiving on the WhatsApp group as well. But again, one more thing. So here, from tomorrow onwards, you want to join the session via LMS. So you can join the session via LMS using the Zoom and YouTube as well. So to the right hand side of the system, you can see there is one option as the today's session tab, right? So let me scroll down. FDP on AI applications in banking and healthcare industry day 1. So it started. Let me refresh my dashboard once. So our session is to start sharp at 2:50. So our session time is 3 to 5. So prior to the 10 minutes, we are starting the session. And if I refresh now, you can see I'm able to see the join button, right? If I click on the join button, I'm able to join directly via Zoom. Okay. And if any faculty members are facing any issue with the Zoom, then we are live on YouTube as well. So about today's session tab, you can see one banner is visible, right? AI application, banking and healthcare industry. Click on that banner. Then if you click on that banner, directly it will revert to the YouTube page, YouTube live. And whatever is happening over the YouTube, over the Zoom, the same replica simultaneously live session is running here on the YouTube as well. So whatever the queries or question you are going to have, definitely you can post here. Our team will be looking for that. And again, see now our team just shared the registration link. It's there. Similarly, if any application need to be downloaded or any web app need to be used for your 5 days of FTP or attendance link, so that thing will be shared here as well in the YouTube. Okay. So if you are not able to view the chat box, so you can see here below the panel, you can see live chat option, right? So anyway, you can click on that and you will find the live chat in the mobile and in the system as well. Okay. So going back into the dashboard, I will show you how you will access the agenda and all other things as well. So in the classroom on your dashboard, we have one more option as a classroom. So this is the classroom name. So let me click on that. Okay, so once we click on the classroom, there are two options, curriculum and meet. So in the meet, again from meet also you can join the session via Zoom. If you click on the week schedule, so in this week we have session for 2 days, that is 12 and 13. If you click on the month schedule, again in the next week, we plan to have sessions Monday to Friday only. So again 16, 17, 18 we'll have a sessions. So accordingly, you will get your calendar block here itself. Okay. So going back into the curriculum, we have 4 sub options there. First one is feedback response. So dear faculty members, please listen carefully. So submit your attendance and feedback here. So for the certificate of participation from the ExcelR and in collaborative colleges, you need to have the 60% of the attendance. Okay, 60% attendance, minimum 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate of participation. Okay, so coming to this attendance, this form is to activate between 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. for 1 hour only, which will be automatically turned on and turned off by the system itself. Okay, so in that 1 hour, you need to submit your attendance and need to share the feedback, real-time feedback about the ongoing session. Okay, so one more announcement. Now today, few of the faculty members should join via link directly. They're not registered, so they're not going to have their LMS access, right? So For that reason, we'll be sharing the link over the Zoom and YouTube as well in the live chat sharp at 4:30. Okay, till 5 o'clock, we'll be sharing for 4-5 times. So please, it's humble request to mark your attendance. While marking the attendance, please use one single email ID for all 5 days. Why I'm saying that? Because if you are going to use the different mail IDs, then it will create a different account. One day 20% attendance, another mail 20% attendance, right? So that will be problematic for you. So use a one single email ID to submit your attendance. Most probably you can use the same which you are using for the register mail. Okay. And now another announcement for the students. So this program is only for faculty for the certification. Okay. So I'm not saying that students can't attend, they can gain the knowledge, they can go through this, but coming to the certification, faculty members only can gain the certificate from this program. Okay. So now going back below the feedback response, we have agenda. So below the feedback response, we have agenda option. Okay. So in the next 5 days, whatever we are going to learn, so you will find here faculty development program on AI applications in banking and healthcare industry. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, likewise, you will get the agenda here. Okay. So going back again, so below the agenda, let me unclick that. Yes, session recordings. Okay. So in the session recordings, day 1. So currently the session is live. So you will find the live session happening here. You can attend from here as well. But once it's done, up to from day 1 to day 5, all the recordings will be available here itself in the session recordings. And whatever the material our trainers are going to use, that material will be here. So like that, you can access the all this feedback response agenda, session recordings and material, and you can sign into the elements. I hope all clear. If clear, can somebody confirm in the chat box? If anybody have any query or question, please drop in the chat box. I will just take it up that. Okay, clear. All this attendance link will be shared at 4:30 only. Yeah. Okay. So all good. Anyway, so our team members are going to be there in the session. So Chandana will be there. If you are going to face any difficulty throughout the session as well, not on day 1, but till the last as well. If you are going to face any difficulty, please keep posted to our host. That person will clear that. Thank you so much for listening, my KG. And Shashank sir, over to you. You can start with the session.
Okay, sir. Okay, Amar sir, thank you so much. Fine. So everyone, can you hear my voice? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Fine, no? Okay, sir. Done. Can you just confirm me, sir? My PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so right. So let's start the session. And before going into what is exactly healthcare and some of the applications, maybe understanding about how we can implement using different programming languages. In this case, we are going to understand about or used to use Python as well. So before going into that, we'll understand a bit about artificial intelligence and how AI is actually contributing to our usage in the current industry or the current way. Now, before Right. So first, let us understand that what exactly is AI. So different people have different perceptions, about artificial intelligence, because that is one of the most key words which is actually spoken now in the current industry. So whether it is in at the college level, or it is at the institute level, or whether it is at the higher level in the industry also. So this term, AI is being spoken very much. So what exactly is this artificial intelligence, first of all? So we need to understand what exactly is AI. So one sentence, this is a very good definition, what we can demonstrate of what exactly is AI. So this is basically simulating the human intelligence, or we can say that, imitating the human intelligence. So, or replicating the human intelligence. So you can say anything. So that is what exactly artificial intelligence is about. So why we need to replicate, or why we need to simulate, or why we have to uh, since even though humans are there, why we have to repeat that intelligence, or we have to simulate. We will talk about that in the going forward. But I just want to understand that your thoughts on what do you feel about what is artificial intelligence. So your definition, any couple of people we can interact, we can understand. So I just want to know that what is your thoughts on or your opinion on what is artificial intelligence. So anyone can share their thoughts. So anyone is fine. Anyone is fine. Anyone can speak. It's fine. Okay. No one. Fine. Right. So let me go to the next slide. Okay. So when talking about AI, the most important thing is, we just understood in the previous slide that it is about replicating the human intelligence. Now, how we replicate it, that is what next thing we have to understand. So the same replica, what I'm speaking about, or what I'm trying to tell you, right? So how you can represent that inside a machine, because we are trying to represent it inside a machine. So that is where the field of robotics we are talking about as well. So now here, how we replicate. So first thing is, one of the professors was also talking about the data, right? So data is the most important aspect when it comes to AI, right? So entire field of AI, I can say. So from where we get the data? So data can be collected from multiple sources. And so you can take customer data, you can take sales data, right? So you can take any kind of data. So data can be generated on multiple areas or multiple factors, right? Now, how this data can be used for artificial intelligence, that is what we have to understand. So then, when we talk about data and AI, the most important point which comes into this picture of data and AI is statistics. So because statistics is a subject where it deals about, or it, you know, it has concepts, right? I'm not going to talk much about statistics, but I just want to share a little thought that how statistics plays an important role when it comes to artificial intelligence. So I'm talking about statistics, that is enough. Again, no need to talk about mathematics, because even math and stat are both part of AI. Now, talking about statistics part, statistics is a subject which actually deals with the data, right? So whether right from the analysis which we do at the very small level, for example, like measures of self tendency or dispersion, or maybe we are applying some skewness, curtices, or also we have probability distributions. So right from the basic statistics to the advanced statistics, like the time series, predictive modeling, using statistical learning. Doing all these. One such example is a time series model, applying ARIMA models, all these things. So we are building something using some statistics, right? Some statistical methods or methodology. On what we are applying on data. So basically, we are applying some methods, and on what we are actually applying them on the data. Now, what happens after we apply? So once we apply, we have some conclusions, or we can say some patterns in the data, some understanding of the data. We'll talk in a simple language. We'll not go little advanced. We'll go to simple, we'll talk in a simple language. So we will have some understanding of data. So what is this understanding of the data? Okay. So that is where statistical methods comes into the picture. So they try to make us understand, okay, this data has some behavior, or this data has this certain or this kind of nature or behavior or a characteristic. That is what statistics tells us, how the data actually behaves, right? So, as a teachers, we say this kid is a naughty kid, he's a very good kid, right? So we tell about their behavior or characteristics of a student. The same way, statistics tells about the behavior and characteristics of the data. It tells how the data is actually behaving, right? So from that behavior, we can understand the patterns in the data. We can understand the nature of the data. We can do or how the data is actually behaving, and so that we can draw some conclusions from it. Then, based on our requirement, based on our usage, we can try to modify this data. Okay, so that only this modification of what is we are doing, what we have with the data is only called as analysis. From this analysis, we are building models. Models are nothing but representation of the data, right? So then once we build the model, that's where we are talking about the terminology is called, little deeper, a little more detail I'll speak about. But to give a little glimpse of what exactly how things are related to AI is what first I'm going to tell you, because there are a lot of things. AI is a bigger picture, right? It's like a universal set. There are many aspects which are related. It may be mathematics, it might be statistics, it might be logic, right? So it might be a programming language. So there are a lot of aspects which are actually linked when it comes to the drawing conclusions or understanding of the data. So once with this, all these things are done, we try to build a model. So as I told you, model is basically the replica of the data. So if you look at the model, a model should represent the data set of what we have. So I'll talk about the data cleaning part, preparation part, those things later. Okay. So let us not go too into the subject. So now, once we build a model, which is a replica of the data, then we try to predict, right, using the model. So once the prediction is started, and then any issues with the model, that will be corrected by self-learning. That is what self-correction. That is in where we have the most important learning called as the reinforcement learning. So that again, I'll speak in detail. Okay. So now, the most important concept when it comes to AI, and one of my favorite concepts also, the Turing test. So this is actually developed in the 1950s by Alan Turing. So everybody knows this Turing test. You would have done this Turing test also in your your journey of using a computer, but you might not be knowing that it is a Turing test. Okay, so this Turing test, many of the computer science faculty or students might be knowing this. Basically, Turing test is nothing but you are proving to a computer that you are not a machine but a human being. So you are trying to convince the computer, or I can say the machine, okay, rather than saying computer, let us say machine. So you are trying to convince the machine that you are not actually a machine, but you are a human being. That is what Turing test is about. So you would have seen in your, when you are using any, websites or any kind of things that, prove that you're a human, right? Select this, select that, you would have seen. So that is only the Turing test. So till date, people are actually using this Turing test, because then only once the machine wants to know the person who is actually using me is not a machine but a human being. So it wants to confirm that I'm being used by a human being, not by a machine. So because a machine doesn't want to be used by a machine, that is what the nature of that is a law, I can say. There are some laws actually when we are not talking about robotics much, but it is actually a law in robotics also. So a machine should not be used by a machine. That is a law in robotics. So a machine should only be used by human being. So to make sure that the machine is not being used by another machine, the machine conducts a Turing test. That's how the machines are actually built across. So from the 1950s itself, we have seen the AI, which is actually built in. But at that time, we don't have this much of computational power, this much of technology which is actually built kind of right now. So there was that gap of what we are seeing in the current scenario and what actually was there in the 1940s and 50s. So it will be incomplete to move forward without knowing this great human being. Okay, so he is Mr. John McCarthy. He is the father of artificial intelligence, I can say. Okay, so when I consider him, okay, as some people have debates on this also, because he was the one who coined the term of AI. Because when I was speaking about this Turing test, this fellow had certain ideas of can the machines think, right? Can we create a machine in a certain way that it can think and it can do something like a human being? But more thoughts of how a machine can think and how a machine can actually do things on its own, self-learn, the things what we are calling right now as reinforcement learning. So can these things when be done? This is what John McCarthy has actually spoken about this coin, can say the term AI in the his conference. So as I was telling you about, the 50s was the foundation. So many would be understanding by this time that why 50s, because at that time only the war, even the Second World War was actually over, right, in the 45. So after that, the world actually started stabilizing because the world wars have been done, and then people were more into development. They wanted to develop uh, things. That's where things they had that ideas of building the machines. That's where industrial revolution, all these things came into the picture. So that's where around 50s, I can say, maybe 50s plus, right, 55 plus, something like that. So the rise of AI actually happened. Rise of AI doesn't mean that there were no this much of computers and all at that level, but they had certain things which can do some computations, like solving small problems, right? So right from that first step of how AI is actually a small seed has been planted in the 50s. So then 50s, 60s, 70s was in that similar way. Then came the bigger picture. Why in the 80s only machine learning has come into the existence? I'll tell you. There is a logical reason for that. Because at that time only statistics flourished in the industry or in the market, I can say. Why? Because there are a lot of statistical aspects which are involved in machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but statistical learning only, but little advanced using the programming applications. So now what happened once the statistical learning has been developed so much, or the statistical learning has been into the picture on a bigger note, then the rise of machine learning started. So that means the the popularity has actually has increased, because statistical learning people were able to do at a smaller level. They were not able to do it in the bigger picture. So they were only about they are only able to do in the smaller uh, I can say maybe small can say calculations, small calculations they are able to do. They are not able to do much actually. So, but when this machine learning came into the existence, there were far more, algorithms. Not that much what we are seeing in the current industry, but little lesser. But at least those algorithms are capable, were actually capable, because they were actually just try to build those algorithms using the statistical learning. So they were able to build some of the aspects, and they were able to do the calculations using the programming languages. That is in where the machine learning came into the picture. And then rise of AI as a science, and then right coming to the 2000s, we are seeing a lot of after the I can say Python, since the Python came into the market, the growth of machine learning, deep learning has also increased. Deep learning, I can say it's a very new technology. So in 2015, I guess, the deep learning has actually started. So till then, it was mostly around 30 years. It was mostly about the machine learning only. So this is one interesting thing I just wanted to share with you. Because when I told you that around 86 the machine learning rise has actually come into the picture, and around another 10 years later, they were able to create a game, right? And that that person, I can say, I can say a machine. It's not a person, it's a machine, right? So it has that machine is Deep Blue. Okay, so that machine was able to defeat this world champion at that time, who is Gary Kasparov. So this is a I can say uh, a revolutionary thing. What exactly happened at that time? So in 1997, the first time a computer won over a world chess champion. So this happened in 97 actually. But from 96 onwards, actually, this uh, thing is actually going on. For example, they're trying to teach the machine. So that is what machine learning is about. Now, many of you may be already aware of what is machine learning, but still, I'll just give you some of the things to understand our agenda. Healthcare and banking. So you need to, those who are aware, fine. But some of you might not be knowing what is machine learning. So we'll discuss that also in a little picture. Okay, so this man versus machine created a big revolution in the market. So this Deep Blue, basically it's a computer, right? It's a machine. Who actually played was actually developed by IBM. So many of you might be knowing what is an IBM, right? So it's a company which was in the 80s, 70s only, I guess. Yeah. So it was very famous. And in the 90s, they actually developed this game. So this was the first game which actually developed, which was played. And at that time, this fellow was the Gary Kasparov was the champion. It defeated that particular champion. Okay. Now, this testing was actually started in the late 80s only. And when the 90s came, more technology was actually they got, then they can, because, many of you might be seeing, science fiction movies or all kinds of stuff, right? So, in Hollywood, you can see a lot of, technology, which maybe in the 80s, the science fiction movies, and in the 90s and in the 2000s, 2010s and 2020, right? You can see the difference between the technology, right? The graphics which are actually used, right? Because, day by day, the graphic card, the graphics has actually increased. So everyone might be knowing the company NVIDIA, right? So it is a company which actually builds graphics, or can say graphic cards. So they actually build these processing parts which are called as the CUDA cores, right? And these CUDA cores are basically uses the technology called ray tracing. So this ray tracing is nothing but building the game, or any kind of aspect which is close to reality. That is what this CUDA cores and the ray tracing is basically about. So now, when the technology came into the 90s, right? At that time, this much of technology what we are seeing around is not there. So it took a lot of years for the IBM company to train that computer which can play, which is in the name of a deep blue. So different kinds of chess moves it has been trained, and then finally it, these were the matches what exactly happened. I took the data so that it will be interesting to understand, rather than just explaining that this deep blue actually defeated Gary Kasparov. This was the match results actually. In the 96, the match was held and Kasparov actually won. Right, the machine Deep Blue was not able to go pass through Kasparov, so it is not able to defeat him. So it lost the match. And then again in the 97, again a rematch was held. By that time, the machine was actually trained on all moves. So finally, 3.5 to 2.5, the machine has won. So see the processing power, it actually used 200 million chess positions per second. So that much of training has been given to the machine to work on this. And there are 30 processors which are installed parallelly inside the machine. So now that is what only we are calling right now as big data. So big data is nothing but the parallel processing of multiple, processing power to process the huge amounts of data. That's why we have named it as big data. That means huge amounts of data which can be processed through parallel computing. That is what is about. So this is a very small glimpse what I have given about an example of Deep Blue, that how a particular computer is having 30 processors with 200 million chess positions. So you understand that was the moving point of there's a huge data is about to come into the market, and people need to analyze huge amounts of data. So that was the I can say a foundation, or a foundation stone for what's about to come in the near future. So this is one of the examples, and like that we have games like AlphaGo, right? So many games were actually that was coming up right now, right? So till here, any doubts, or anybody wants to ask something? So I'm ready to answer any questions on that. Not just answering any discussion as well is also fine. So before I just so anybody wants to ask something? Okay. Okay. Somebody else. Fine. So now let us Ray tracing, yes. Ray tracing is a technology which is, building a graphics oriented thing which is very, I can say, very similar or very near to the human being. For example, if you play a game, right? If you play a game, I'll take multiple examples. If you play a game, maybe a laptop game or a mobile game, uh, you can see if if your graphics or you can say your graphic card supports ray tracing, it can generate output in such a way that the people in the game or the things in the game. For example, if you are playing a game where you can see a table or a chair, right, or a car, right, they look very real of how you see in the real life. So that is possible if the graphics actually support ray tracing. So this ray tracing technology actually has been developed. I think it may be around some 10 years, some 8 to 10 years. It has been a revolution. It was only it was only supported in the, I can say, PlayStations, Sony PlayStations or Microsoft Xbox. But slowly it has Nvidia also developed it for the I can say laptop or a PC games, and then even you can see that in the mobile industry also. Last 4 5 years you can see it in the mobile industry also. That's why more people are now uh, more interested in playing games in mobile also, because we have that ray tracing technology uh, in graphic cards. So if you see that in mobile phones, you can see companies like Qualcomm, right? They manufacture these processors. They have their GPUs. They call their GPUs as Adreno. Adreno is the name for their GPUs, graphical processing unit. And these Adrenos have that ray tracing capabilities. That is, ray tracing is actually a revolution in the gaming industry. So those who game will know better about this ray tracing, what I'm speaking. And I was mentioning one more thing called also CUDA cores. CUDA cores are nothing but the processing units which are actually built on tensors. So that one I will actually discuss because TensorFlow and Keras are two technologies which are actually used in deep learning, which are very, very important part of AI. So that's why I've taken that example of CUDA cores, because CUDA cores are directly related to these tensors. And even you can you can even take one more example of Pixel phones also. So Pixel uses the tensor chips, right? So tensor G1, I think currently G4 is running, G1, G2, G3, G4. So these tensor chips are based upon TensorFlow technology. This TensorFlow technology is actually developed by Google's Brain team in 2015. So they call it as a Brain team because it is based upon neural networks. So again, neural networks, I'll again discuss. Neural networks is based upon the neurons in the human head. So that's why they named their team as Google's Brain team. And that, Google is the one who actually found this TensorFlow. And based on this TensorFlow technology only, this ray tracing and this Pixel's AI and ML AI capabilities have actually been developed. So that's why they named it as their chips as tensor chips. So tensor is nothing but an array actually. A multi-dimensional array is called as a tensor. So that's how it is. It's all linked actually. So all this actually was possible once the deep learning came into the market, or once the deep learning technology was actually developed. Because 2015 was the year deep learning has actually started. So once this deep learning has come into the market, Andrew Ng was the Andrew Ng was the actually father of deep learning. So I'm a big fan of Andrew Ng as well. I follow him in LinkedIn as well. So the kind of developments he does and all those in deep learning, I follow him. So you can also actually, if you're interested in, deep learning technology, you can follow Andrew Ng. He's been making a lot of, developments in the field of, deep learning, which is directly related to AI. So what we are, talking about AI, it is basically nothing but the deep learning technology only, which is directly related to this TensorFlow, right? We have other two technologies also in deep learning, like computer vision and uh, NLP, right? So that is little out of the context. I'm not going to speak uh, about that. But coming to this TensorFlow and Keras, which are the two platforms where the deep learning and what the AI technology we are going to implement. We are only going, we will speak, which is completely related to our FDP. Okay, little here and there we can go after the works, but we'll speak mostly about that. So why I mentioned this ray tracing is because of that only, because the technology is actually directly related to the AI, and now everybody was actually these games, these processors, chips, and all we are actually speaking about. So that is on where the companies like Nvidia, Google, Microsoft come into the picture, because even in smartphones right now, you can see these technologies has been actually implemented. My next slide was actually on that only. So I mentioned one example also here, Google AI. So you can use Google Assistant for multiple things, right? So we have different assistants, right? So we have multiple assistants like the Google Assistant. In iPhones, you can see Siri, right? And even Microsoft has developed one Google Assistant called Copilot. So many of the laptops have come with Copilot. Even though you don't have a dedicated Copilot, you can also use in the Microsoft Edge. So you have a Copilot button where you can, it's actually an assistant, right? So like the Chat GPT, or you can also use Chat GPT. Now that is little out, that comes under LLM. Okay, I'm not going to speak much on that. But you have different assistants which you can use. And one small example you can actually think of is the Google's AI, which is the, one small example here. Can you make reservations over a phone? Yeah, you can actually do it by using the Google Assistant. And now Google has transformed a little bit. And instead of Google Assistant, he's calling his assistant as Gemini. Now, there is no Google Assistant actually. I can say Gemini is nothing but the refreshed Google Assistant only. So Gemini is actually built upon Google Assistant, and all the features of what Google Assistant carries, Gemini also carries. On top of that, advanced also it carries. And there was Gemini 1.0, which was actually launched by Google. That was actually not that great success, but Gemini 2.0, our beloved Sundar Pichai of, who is the Google CEO, has promised a lot of, capabilities, AI capabilities in Gemini 2.0. So Gemini 2.0 has been launched very, recently. So those who are using an Android phone also can, it will ask for you to use a Google Assistant or a Gemini. You can use any of the assistants on that. So, there are a lot of advancements which are actually happening on the technology of AI. So one more example after, this Google's duplex is also the surgical systems also. So there are a lot of, machines which are actually being used for surgeries, or for not just surgeries also. They are mostly used as robots also, like the Pepper. So Pepper is one such robot which can actually identify the human emotions and faces. So this is actually used, the I can say this kind of robot like Pepper is actually used in the hospitals. One such example, I've seen many places people are using robots in hospitals to serve the patients, right? So don't think if serving the patients doesn't mean the robots directly do the surgery. So that kind of thing, most of the places they are not doing it. But as helping the patients they are using it. For example, a hospital in Manchester in the UK, they actually use a robot to actually help the patients. For example, particularly old people. What this robot actually does is it will on a time-to-time basis it gives medicines to all the patients, because a human being might actually miss this. At 4 o'clock this person has to take medicine, or 5 o'clock this person has to take this kind of medicine. So time to time this robot will go to that particular person's room, and it will give that particular medicine to that particular patient. And not just giving the medicine, it also makes that person to do exercises, that which patient has to do which kind of exercise. So this is how AI is actually transforming our lives also. So one more, after listening to all this, again, many people might be getting a lot of, it might be in future, AI will take over our jobs. So this is one question, wherever I, deliver lectures on AI, people start asking this question. But, I can say we don't lose our job, but we will be forced to upgrade, or I can say transform the way we are doing things. So transformation will happen. For example, transformation will happen at every stage in the human upgradation. Best example is the automation part. For example, every company does automation now, right? So automation is a very important process when it comes to the things which happen on a day-to-day basis. So the automated mails, automated messages, right? For example, we withdraw a money from our credit card, or we withdraw money from our ATM, or we withdraw, or we pay something, we get a message, right? So that is automation, right? No, a person is not sitting and sending it. So it is an automation. So without automation, you cannot, you cannot imagine the lives what we are leading right now. So it is very important. For example, if we pay we pay somebody a 50 rupees or 100 rupees through phone pay, immediately you get a message. For example, you don't get a message, you will see, you will think we are in that situation where we think why a message has not come, that I 100 has been debited from my account. So that is the expectations of human beings, and that much people are actually expecting from automation. So you're expecting from AI only, because automation is part of AI. So that kind of development is expected out of people as well. So right from the a smartphone usage or a laptop usage, or it might be anything. So the expectations of people are set very high, and that's why AI is also upgrading. People are also upgrading AI as much as possible. So many of you would have not even expected that you can see this much of artificial intelligence in a mobile phone, but we are seeing a lot of AI capabilities in the mobile phone. So one of the best technologies what Google has come up with, is the Magic Eraser. So Magic Eraser actually, removes people from the pictures. So you can erase unwanted things from the picture. So it was actually launched in the Pixel 8. Then, after that, Google has also released for as a, as a part of an operating system, right? So now all the AI capability mobile phones are having that Magic Eraser. So we kind of find it fun. So we also want those kind of technologies to be used. That's where we are seeing so many of technologies being developed. And one of the premium partner of these implementation of AI is Google. So he's one of the and even you can also take Microsoft also for there's kind of war running between now between Microsoft and Google over the AI dominance. Now we always know that Google and Microsoft has always had that war between those two companies, who is premium or who is supreme in the international market. So on that, now even that war is continuing. Now the war is based upon AI. So who come up with better AI technology? The war is actually happening between Microsoft and Google. So on things what we are speaking, on top of that, we have different things what AI can actually do. So multiple things are there. So first one is the repetitive task. So that is what we are calling it as automation. So for example, our money has been debited from our account. So for example, there are 2,000 rupees in our account. So you paid some 100 rupees to some auto pay. So it has to deduce that 100 rupees from your 2,000 rupees, right? So there are many things which should happen, right? So 2,000 minus 100 it should happen, and 1,900 should be there in your account, and you should get that message. So these transactions should happen, right? So this is actually comes under repetitive task. So this is what an automation basically is. So that 100 is removing, and 1,900 is showing in your account, and the same you get as an automated message. So these are repetitive tasks. So then the second one is the data intensive task. So that is where our machine learning, deep learning, all comes into the picture. So something which is related to the data, and we are trying to use, whether it might be machine learning or a statistical learning. So we are trying to analyze the data. We are trying to, understand the patterns, behaviors, characteristics, its natures, all these things we are trying to do. So then comes the superhuman task, which is the reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning is nothing but the a very small example I can give on reinforcement learning. So many might be many would have seen this movie. So there's a movie called Castaway, right? So Tom Hanks was the somebody was research oriented. Okay. Okay, man. I was just explaining some of the things which are actually related to AI. We'll go into that also. Okay, so for reinforcement learning, this example I use a lot because I kind of, it is very easy for people to understand also. This is the movie called Castaway. So Tom Hanks is the hero for that movie. So he's actually stuck in one island. And why I've taken this example of, for superhuman task for reinforcement learning, why this example is, for example, we are stuck in a particular island, and as you know, how Tom Hanks has got stuck. So, what we do, right? So, first we try to escape, right? If it is not possible, the next thing is we try to adapt, right? We try to learn, right? We try to learn how to adapt and how to do things, how to survive, right? So how do we know, or how do we understand that what we need to do and how to survive? That we will know by self-learning. That means we'll try to understand things, we try to learn, or we try to teach ourselves, and then we try to do that particular task. So that is what reinforcement learning is about. So ultimately, their survival skills matters. So how these people actually survive? Okay. So how these people, how this person has actually, learned to survive, and how he managed was, that movie is about. Okay, that wasn't just a movie, but how that is related to a, the example what I'm speaking about. That's what machines actually do. They try to adapt, they try to learn, they try to understand, they try to build on it, and do that particular task. So one such example of reinforcement learning is what we understand is only the LLM models, what we are speaking about as the large language models. So they are text generators, okay, like the chat GPT. So yeah, so next is the advantages of what is exactly AI. So basically we have so many so many advantages also, right? We'll also speak about the disadvantages because there will be always two sides of a coin. So if you are having any advantages on a certain thing, definitely will have disadvantages as well. So error reduction, digital assistance with difficult explorations, medical applications, right? Repetitive jobs, no breaks, right? So there are multiple examples here. I've mentioned some six. If we sit and think, we may get some thousands of advantages of why we have to use AI. So next, let us go to the limitations part also. So limitations part, definitely the first limitation always, when I teach AI, the first limitation is always a machine can never think like a human being. How well you train it, how well you do it, that emotional balance is always that that a human being only has. So that is one of the crucial points of or I can say big major big limitation or disadvantage of artificial intelligence technologies. And the most important, the second, first one is that, second one is data, right? We need tons and tons of data to actually train a deep learning model. So it is very difficult to get tons and tons of data. So now data is being produced. We are able to handle huge amounts of data based upon what we are getting. So that is fine. But data means data should not be just data. It has to be some useful information, right? That's why I'm calling what I need is useful information, or I can say useful data, which I can rely upon, which I can make use of it and build upon it, and use for my analysis and for my business. So it should be useful in that perspective. So not just data means data. No, it's not like that. It should be very useful in the certain scenarios aspect. And then implementation of R&D cost and all, it is obviously more when it comes to building a AI technology. So now let us little dive into what is machine learning, right? There are three important aspects, such as the supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So very simply, I'll just tell you what is this machine learning is about. So machine learning is nothing but it's a part of AI, right? So I'll just go into that first, and we'll then talk about. We'll come back a little. Yeah. So we'll just see this, then we'll go back a little. Okay. So this is the bigger picture, what I was actually trying to tell you. So AI versus ML versus DL. I can say this machine learning and deep learning are actually part of artificial intelligence. So as we already discussed, AI is nothing but mimicking or replicating the human intelligence. So machine learning is nothing but the usage of the statistical methods or technologies which can improve the experience. Then comes the deep learning part, where you use the neural networks, okay, to make the computations. Okay, so I can say more of neural network technology is what is deep learning, more of statistical methods is what the machine learning. So now in the current industry and projects, more it is focused on deep learning, because deep learning also requires a lot of computational power. I was speaking about GPU as well, right? Graphical processing unit. So you need more GPU than the CPU power when it comes to the deep learning technology. So because you need more computation, because you have more amount of data, and algorithms are they have that more advanced technical things which are built on it. Okay, so which requires more computational power. So that is where the deep learning and usage of these GPUs comes into the picture. So that's where the companies like NVIDIA and all, AMD and all come into the picture of building the graphical processing units. So I'll just go back. Yeah, I'll quickly go through. I'll quickly guide you. What is stage? Okay, right. So we'll just quickly go through what is machine learning. Okay. So basically, machine learning has three parts. One is the supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So for unsupervised learning, it's very important because unsupervised is nothing but building associations and doing clustering for the data. So one textbook definition is for unsupervised is unlabeled data. Okay, so this is the keyword you will see for unsupervised. So unlabeled data. So why we are calling it as unlabeled data is something which is not clustered. For example, you are not able to segregate things into one place. So if that is the case, then it is called as an unsupervised. For that, we use the methods like association and clustering. Okay, that's why here I've mentioned that it is for identifying the clusters. Okay, so for the supervised learnings, for supervised, it is about the task driven or predicting the value. So these are basically already labeled data. So supervised is a labeled data. So for labeled data, we try to apply the supervised algorithms. So supervised algorithms like the linear regression, logistic regression, naive Bayes algorithm, SVM, and so on. So next comes the reinforcement learning. So reinforcement is nothing but learning by yourself, right? So this is an upper stage of supervised. Unsupervised comes at the last, middle supervised, and then the reinforcement learning. So reinforcement learning, something where you learn by your self mistakes, you try to understand, and you try to build upon it. Okay, so this is just an example of how supervised actually does. So basically, machine learning is, as I told you, it's basically stat and math. So you can just say that this is exactly why it is used. It is basically to map the functions. So mapping is part of mathematics and computer science also. So people from these two backgrounds exactly is mapping. So like a one-to-one mapping, one-to-many mapping, right? So this is what. So for example, why I'm saying this thing called mapping is, so when you give a certain input, you expect an output, right? So what is that output which is expected is what mapping is about. So here, as you understand that, you're applying a certain algorithm and you're classifying that, something which looks like this is a cat, something which doesn't look like this is a something else. It's not a cat. So you try to classify the items, or you try to cluster them, right? Or you try to divide them, right, before applying the supervised algorithm. So that process is actually called as clustering, right? So that is what is done in the unsupervised. So now in the supervised, we have a couple of types, which is the classification and regression. So simple to understand. Something which is a numerical value is a regression. Something which is a categorical value is a classification. For example, best examples of classification is male, female. So something which there is no numerical value to predict, right? So for example, you are predicting the marks of a student. So if you are predicting the marks of a student, it is a numerical value. It's not a categorical value. So categorical is something which is in the form of a true or a false, right? Yes or a no, male, female, right? Right? Anything, something which is not a numerical, you can remember like this, is a classifier or a classification. Something which is a numerical value is a regression. So, for example, like house rent prices, right? Cost of vegetable, right? Any vegetable is a regression, right? Because it's a numerical value. So these are some of the algorithms. Here we'll not go much specific into each algorithm, but you can understand there are certain algorithms which are there, right? So under supervised, like the linear regression, logistic regression, support vector machines, naive Bayes, decision trees, right? Linear discriminant analysis, and so on. So for unsupervised, as we already discussed, unsupervised is nothing but some raw data, and we try to classify them, or you can say not classify is not the word. We try to cluster them is the correct word. So classification, again, if we say classification, that is we are saying we are talking about the supervised learning. So we are saying the okay. Right. For unsupervised, it is basically clustering. That means dividing it into multiple, similar features. So that's why we have a definition for clustering. That clustering is a method, something where the items in the cluster are homogeneous, and the items across the clusters are heterogeneous. For example, if you classify, a cat, right? So all cats look similar, right? At least they may be in different colors, but cats are cats, no, at the end of the day. So these are cats. So they are all homogeneous. For example, you have one more cluster called dogs. So cats and dogs are, different. No, they are not same, right? So even the family is also different, right? So these are heterogeneous, right? That means they don't have any features between them. So basically, a cluster is something where the items in the cluster are basically homogeneous, and between clusters are basically heterogeneous. So basically, clustering them. So basically, clustering them is very important when actually you move on with the unsupervised learning. So these are two important aspects of clustering. Important aspects of unsupervised learning, which is the clustering and the association. So clustering is nothing but dividing it into groups. Association is nothing but the discovering the rules in the input data. For example, how if you go to a supermarket, right? So for example, to understand association, very good example is a supermarket, right? Best example is understanding a supermarket for association. Why? Because products which are sold together or which are bought together, or things which people prefer buying together are placed together inside a supermarket. That is what is that how they know that which products go together. That is identified by using the association. So that is in where the association actually plays a very important role. Association plays a very important role when it comes to unsupervised learning. So these are some of the algorithms. Very famous algorithm is the k-means clustering, a priori algorithm. A priori algorithm is basically used for association. Hierarchical clustering, k-means clustering is used for clustering. Principal component analysis is used for dimensionality reduction. DB scan is also used for clustering. Density-based spatial clustering technique it is. And non-negative factorization is also a dimensionality reduction technique. So next comes reinforcement learning. So reinforcement, as we already discussed, what is reinforcement? So reinforcement is basically the state and the reward. So goal and an action. So it is basically what we can think of is the learning. So basically the trial and error methods, right? Learning from the mistakes, rewarding. So this Mario game, you would be remembering. At least if you're maybe, if you are not playing, at least your kids would have played. So this Mario game is a very good game. Even in my childhood, I used to remember. So it was a very popular game which actually was played. So types of reinforcement are nothing but positive reinforcement and a negative reinforcement. So this is easy way to understand is how much likelihood. For example, first of all, you should understand the word likelihood. So likelihood is nothing but how much of chance is there, right, to understand that or to learn from that and to extract that is what basically likelihood is about. So how much of chance is there? How is there more chance? Then it becomes a positive reinforcement. If there is a lesser chance, it becomes a negative reinforcement. So these are some of the methods for reinforcement learning. These are some of the methods like the Monte Carlo, Q-learning, then the SARSA, deep neural networks, Q-lambda, SARSA-lambda. So these are some of the methods. As for time being, you can just remember that these are some of the methods. So now ML versus DL we will speak. So this is very important to understand because how deep learning has actually taken over machine learning in several areas. So that is a very important thing to understand, in our session. So ML versus deep learning is basically, here you have an input, right? You have an output. So that will be there in whatever kind of learning it might be. It might be ML, DL, or any other kind of learning. So always remember, there will be an input, there will be an output, right? So the things, what happens in the middle actually changes. For example, there is something called as a feature extraction and classification. So that is basically done together when it comes to deep learning models. When it comes to feature extraction and classification, which is done separately in machine learning. Simple way to understand. So because neural networks are capable of feature engineering, feature extraction, so that is where neural networks play a very vital role when it comes to the deep learning technology. So this one we have understood. So now, we are going a little more closer to our project now. So the first thing is the neural networks, right? So first we understand what is an artificial neural network, or ANN, right? So neural networks are basically based upon the human brain or a human intelligence. So how the neurons are actually functioned in the human brain, the similar way neurons are actually perform, how happens in the human brain, the same way the neurons, or you can say the artificial neural network, it is actually built upon the same methodology. Okay. So how ANN predicts? So ANN has layers. We call it as a deep layers or hidden layers. Okay. So why we are calling it as deep learning? There is a reason for calling it as a deep learning. So we are calling it deep learning because deep indicates the depth in the ANN. So if there is a lot of layers in a neural network, that is called as a deep learning. So for example, if you are having one layer, two layer, it's fine. So if you are having hundreds of layers, sometimes when we are solving a particular problem, we call so we call it as a deep learning model. So yeah, so here you can see, so lots of layers which are built, and so what happens in that things that what layers are there, what are those and all, I'll explain, right? So I'll talk about this activation functions and all those aspects in detail, right? Maybe I think in tomorrow's session we will speak. So right now we'll try to understand what is deep learning and all, and then we can wind up for today's session. So next is the network architecture, where if you're seeing a simple neural network, maybe one or two layers will be there. So a simple network will consider one or two layers. Even three also you can consider sometimes as a simple only, to be fair. Because when you are actually building a real-time project, for example, what we do in our project also in the healthcare and finance, we are going to implement a deep learning model with multiple layers also. So, when we are doing that particular project, I will tell you that, how layers are actually built upon. I will explain in a step-by-step process how the layers are built on, how to add layers, and how to create layers so that we can build and we can train the model more, and we can extract the prediction correctly or build a model correctly so that we can predict. So this is a very small example to understand that performance has actually improved when it comes to the deep learning models, because large neural networks are nothing but the deep learning models. So traditional algorithms models performance is not that great compared to that of the larger neural networks. Okay. So now the most important thing is the ImageNet. So ImageNet is basically a database which is actually built, right? And this actually has a lot of images. For example, these kinds of ImageNets or images, you can see it in Google also. When you search for something and you have an option called images, you can have a lot of images. So this was actually started in the 2009. Before that, so it's been around 15 years. So before this, you don't have something called as an ImageNet. So this ImageNet was actually part of deep learning ability. So where they're able to train so many images. For example, here it has around 14 million labeled images. So there are a lot of images which are actually labeled and which train using the neural networks. So as I told you, 2012 Google's brain team has actually recognized different kinds of cats on YouTube. So it was 70% improvement over any other machine learning algorithm, because before it was only machine learning algorithms. After that, when Google's brain team, they have found this deep learning technology, they were able to recognize more, they were able to train more images, they were able to extract more information, and they're able to understand that there are different kinds of cats from different videos. So they're able to extract that using the deep learning technology. So next is the, maybe now people have reduced using, but this particular application, many people have actually used for many years, Facebook, right? So Facebook has found a technology in 2014 called the deep face. So in this deep face, they were able to identify the human faces correctly. At least 97.35% of accuracy was actually, identified by facial recognition using the deep learning. Next is the AlphaGo. So Deep Blue we have seen, no? In that similar way, there is one more game which is the AlphaGo. This was actually found that that game was actually found by IBM, and this one was actually found by Google's brain team. So this Google's DeepMind was actually a game which is found by Google's team, and this was the game which actually defeated the Lee Sedol. He is the 18-time world champion. So this AlphaGo has actually defeated him. Next, about this we have already spoken about. It is about the video games, of how you can see the shadows here for the persons or things, right? So these shadows are actually obtained by the technology of ray tracing. So all important one is the self-driven cars, right? So it's a very important technology, right? So very important technology which is actually not implemented in India right now. So multiple places it has been implemented, but not. Sure, ma'am. Definitely, I'll share. Yes. So the self-driven cars are, not implemented much in India kind of right now, but they are, implemented, I can say, kind of in many countries as well, and many people are actually using that. So this self-driven cars provide a lot of things, like, a human being need not, drive. So there are a lot of positives. There are also a lot of negatives also. So we'll speak on that also. So less stressful driving, less crashes, obviously, and then a lot of updates also. So, and one more very important thing, what I found by the self-driven cars is, since they communicate with sensors, for example, in traffic, you will see that, a bike or a car or something like that, people stop, close to each other, which is actually not good. If you move a little, you will hit that car, or, you might hit that bike or a scooty. So, but when it comes to self-driven cars, they don't hit each other because they have sensors. They communicate with each other, and they keep a distance between them, and with that distance, they actually, with that distance only, they move among themselves. So they identify the distance between the objects, right? And then they calculate accordingly, and they drive cars. So what happens with this is, the crash rates will be, or accident rate will be drastically reduced. And one more thing, at night times also you can see due to night driving, right? I can say the accidents also are more because we try to, we sleep, right? So natural tendency that we get sleep, right? So if it's a self-driven car, it can, drive on its own, and we need not drive ourselves. So again, the accident percentage is also less, and energy efficiency also, since the sensors communicate with each other, right? A car might, can go at an efficient pace so that it doesn't hit that other car. So it will maintain that distance. Even the fuel economy also can be maintained, and traffic rules also it will follow, right? So there are a lot of advantages also when it comes to the self-driven cars. So currently, actually, we are in the third level. Actually, okay, here I've mentioned also. So this Tesla, Nissan, Google, Waymo, these companies are at the self-driven cars of level 3. Okay, so level 3 is nothing but the conditional automation. Okay, so actually I can say we are at partial automation only, not even conditional automation. In countries like India, it is not actually implemented much. Okay, with the amount of population or maybe the roads, or there are a lot of constraints that the government is a little skeptical about. So yeah, I think everybody knows Tesla, I guess, because he's one of the companies. Elon Musk is one of the company. He's one of the persons who is more driven into AI. So how does a self-driven car see? As I already told you, that they have the sensors, and these sensors communicate with each other. So I think we can stop here. So if you have any doubts, I can just take questions before I close out the session. So we can go even more into the concepts, and in tomorrow's session we can also implement how I'll start with healthcare, how we can implement a project in healthcare, taking a data set and all those things. So little practical we will go, and maybe another half an hour, 1 hour might be some theoretical. Okay, so it will be more interesting when actually you see a practical part, how implementation can be done, and how. So I would also request you to try to understand. Yeah, yes, sir. So that's what. So practical part might be will be more interesting. So implementation and all we will see. So we'll be using Python language. We'll be using Python for implementing the deep learning technology. So any questions if you have, we can I can take. So maybe you can have some. If you don't have right now, you can think of what have we discussed, and maybe you can come up with some of the things for the next session. Because tomorrow we have a session. After that we have on Monday. So maybe we can come up with any questions to me. So if you don't have, we can wind it up. Sir Amar sir, you're there?
Yes, Shashank. I'll take it
yeah,
up.
okay. Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, dear faculty members, I'm sharing the attendance link again. Okay, please mark your attendance. And yeah, tomorrow by afternoon, we'll upload this PPT in the LMS. Okay, other than this, you can ask me any doubts on LMS. other things. Okay, if you want registration link, I will provide again. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Preeti, like you can keep that question for tomorrow. Okay, today the time is up. So I'm sending a registration link again. If you want to register, please register. Okay, I didn't see any more questions here in the chat box. So make sure like you are marking your attendance because 60% attendance is mandatory for the certificate. Sorry, ma'am, you can't able to answer because because here we have a more than 400 faculty, no? So it will be problematic if I give unmute access. iPhone, like you will get to know after filling your details in the feedback form. Yes, Sujana will provide PPT in the elements. Okay, we'll upload by tomorrow afternoon. Okay, thank you for joining and we'll meet on tomorrow. Yeah, bye everyone. Do we have to fill attendance multiple times? No, one time is enough. Like you don't have an idea that I if I filled or not, you can go for the next attempt.